There's a storm brewing over India's famous IT industry. And this isn't just a little rain shower. We're talking about a moment of huge, profound change. It's being driven by tech, by global shifts, and honestly, a crisis of skills. So let's dive right into this perfect storm and try to figure out the path that leads through it.
All right, let's just start with one number. A number that honestly sent shockwaves through the entire sector, 12,000. Yep, 12,000. That's how many jobs India's biggest IT employer, TCS, is cutting. And look, this isn't just some number on a spreadsheet, it's a seismic event. It's a massive signal that the way this industry works is fundamentally changing.
So what is really going on here? Because this is so much more than just one company's decision, right? What we're actually witnessing is a huge industry-wide shakeup. And TCS, well, they're just the most visible part of a much, much bigger story. I mean, just look at this scale of these cuts. It's staggering. You've got TCS leading the pack with that massive 12,000 number, but they are definitely not alone. Look at Paytm. They're planning to cut over 5,000 jobs. Ola Electric, over 1,000. This shows you it's not just an IT services problem anymore. It's hitting startups, it's hitting the tech giants. The entire ecosystem is feeling this pressure. And the thing is, this issue is incredibly broad. It's everywhere. You've got TCS targeting mid and senior level roles because of a so-called skill mismatch. Then you have Infosys letting go of hundreds of trainees who couldn't pass their assessments. Wipro is cutting roles that, well, can now be automated. From Google India all the way down to local startups, the story is pretty much the same. So what are the common threads here? It all boils down to a massive push for efficiency, a huge demand for new, different skills, and, of course, the rise of automation. Okay, so this all brings us to the million-dollar question. Why is this all happening now? What forces have all come together to create this crisis? To figure out where we're going, we first have to really break down the anatomy of the problem. Well, at its core, you've got these two really powerful internal forces at play. First, the obvious stuff, the mass layoffs and a complete freeze on those massive campus hiring sprees we used to see. But, and this is more important, there's a dramatic shift in the kind of skills companies are looking for. The skills that built this entire IT industry, they're just not the ones that are going to define its future. And those internal forces, they're being cranked up to 11 by some pretty powerful external pressures. You've got a global economic slowdown, which means clients in the US and Europe are tightening their belts. They're cutting their outsourcing budgets. And at the exact same time, back home, India is facing this just massive oversupply of engineering graduates pouring into the job market, year after year. And just let this number sink in for a second. We're talking over 1.5 million engineering graduates every single year. But here's the kicker. Sources are suggesting that only about a quarter of them, at best, actually have the high-tech skills that companies are desperately searching for right now. This creates an unbelievably fierce, cutthroat competition for a shrinking pool of those traditional jobs. And right at the dead center of this whole storm, we find the single most disruptive force of all, artificial intelligence. So is it a job destroyer or is it a job creator? The real answer is, well, it's complicated. So here's the crucial point to understand. AI is not the only reason for this crisis, but it is absolutely the key accelerator. Think of it like pouring gasoline on a fire that was already burning. It's just rapidly automating all the routine stuff and forcing a complete rethink of what skills are actually valuable. What we're seeing is a great skill replacement happening in real time. On one side, you have the bread and butter jobs of the last 20 years, things like manual testing, basic coding, tech support, and those jobs are shrinking fast. But on the other side, the future is popping up right in front of us. AI engineers, data scientists, cloud architects. The demand for these roles is absolutely exploding. It's a direct swap, out with the old, in with the new. And this quote just cuts right to the heart of the new corporate mindset. One skilled engineer with AI tools can do the work of 4 to 5 average coders. When you hear that, it explains everything, doesn't it? It explains the shift away from hiring massive headcounts and towards building smaller, more elite, highly skilled teams. Okay, so the storm is here. The landscape has totally changed. The question now is, what's the new playbook? How do you not just survive this, but actually come out on top and thrive in this new reality? All right, here's your path forward. Step 1,
Upskilling is totally non-negotiable. You have to dive into AI, cloud computing, and data science. There's no way around it. Step 2, shift your whole focus. Stop thinking about just executing routine tasks and start thinking about solving complex business problems. That's where the value is. And third, you've got to embrace hybrid careers. Imagine combining deep knowledge of a field, like, say, finance or healthcare, with top-notch AI skills. That combination makes you incredibly valuable.
But of course, look, individuals can't do this all alone. The entire system needs a serious upgrade. We're talking about college curriculums that are still stuck teaching old programming languages. They have to be reformed and fast to match what the industry actually needs today, not what it needed 10 years ago.
So we've looked at the problem, we've looked at the causes, and we've talked about the path forward. But really, this all boils down to one single thing. What's your next move?
So let's just recap the new reality. The comfortable, routine IT jobs we all knew, they're shrinking. They're disappearing. In their place, these high-value, creative, AI-driven roles are rising up. And in this new environment, the single most important skill you can possibly have is adaptability. It is the absolute key to not just survival, but real success. So we're going to end with a simple, really direct question for you to think about. I want you to look at your own career, your own knowledge, your own plans for the future, and just ask yourself this: are your skills built for tomorrow?